Shibuki Jushin Etojan Rira Lingshin Yinde Genpadi Sangye Shingdu Mite Uargi Joku Namda Shingla Chuparsho Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kamniyatayami Chudam Soki Chognam La Janchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gibe Sunam Ki Chola Benchir Sangye Druparsho Chudam Soki Chognam La Janchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sunamki Drola Benchir Sangye Druparsho Chudam Soki Chognam La Janchu Bardu Dagni Yapsuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sunamki Drola Benchir Sangye Druparsho. All right then. I'm just going to review where we were on Stanley's text. We had a kritik, we had an argument, and somebody said Sangye ki zuchu ki dulcha koe dangyensen le tong bum meba tell, I guess. So you must be saying that it never happened that Lord Buddha used miracle powers to pull a disciple out of samsara and the lower birth. Okay, you must be saying, okay, he's attacking us. Because the opening lines of the Abhidharma, it doesn't jump into philosophy. First there's a poem, a long poem, about how Buddhists pull people out of samsara, and the tradition of that introduction poetry is to say Buddhists can only teach. They cannot change your seats with a wave of their hand. Okay, so this guy, we haven't had that yet. We're not going to reach that for a while, but we're already having a debate about it. This is a Buddhist custom, which is kind of frustrating. That they'll start debating the book before you learn the book. But I guess it's just to get people interested in the book or something. So it's a controversy. It's like a Wikipedia article. They always have a controversy section. So anyway, they're trying to stir things up at the beginning. Okay. And then we say, well, why do you accuse me of that? Why do you say you think I said Buddhists would never use miracle powers to take people out of samsara and out of the lower realms? Okay, why do you start why are you yelling at me? You know, why did you say that? And he says, okay, when you have an S and you want to emphasize to your reader that there's an S there, we don't pronounce the S, right? Nowadays it's just de. But in linguistic compensation, we lengthen it, okay? When the D drops out, you shorten. When the S drops out, you lengthen to alert your listener that there used to be an S there, or there used to be a D there. So if it were D here, you would say de, de. But if there's an S, you say de, and then you pause. De, de da le, chutene, dengube chu. This is probably de da la. Anybody have a way to check that?
Yeah, I'll check.
Oh, I'm sorry. I take it back. It's correct. What's the de da?
Is it the miracle powers?
No.
Dualizer.
Yeah, it's a dualizer. But what does it refer to in the sentence before?
They teach them Dharma. So by them, Dharma.
Rana is samsara.
That's what I thought, but it's not la, it's lay.
Oh, from.
So it's the Buddhas. From them, the Dharma is taught.
Take every single word in the first sentence and say it to me, and sooner or later I'll say that's what it is.
Samsara and Lord.
Yeah, good. Yeah, from those. He pulls them from those. So it's correct. So Dedak, it's not la. I thought Dedak la was he teaches them Dharma. No, it's from those, meaning from those two places. Samsara and the lower realms. So he has to pull them out of those by teaching them Dharma. That's what it says. He has to pull them out of those by teaching them Dharma. That's what the Shenluk, the other guy, is saying is our system. Because your system is that he has to teach to pull them out.
Right.
So I guess he never used miracle power. Right. So he never showed Ananda the wheel of life. He never took Ananda to the house to get him to not be attached to his wife. Okay, something like that. It's going to be something like that. Okay, here we go. Ananda.
Wasn't it Ananda took Devadatta?
No, it's that Malgalyayana took Ananda. I only know because I studied it recently. Okay, here we go. Malgalyayana and Shariputra would take turns taking people. And then Buddha said, look, this can't go on like this way. You guys aren't going to be around forever. Let's make a painting. And require that it be put at the door of every temple. Because you guys won't be around forever. And that's one story of the Wheel of Life painting. Yeah. Okay. Now, we say something like Dhammadrum, which means I never said that. I never said he had to teach him Dharma to pull him out of those two. I never said that. Okay. And then he says, yes, you did. There. I'll take a green drink while you guys think about
Dare tell?
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dare tell? You do too believe that. You did too believe that. Dare tell? Because then he quotes the first line and the fourth line of a famous verse. And in between he puts ne, which means from that up to that. This ne means from that first line up to that fourth line has been stated. Now, let's talk about the word sung. G-S-U-N-G-S, okay? Sung. It has been stated. In a Buddhist book, 90% of the time, it means by Lord Buddha or by some authority. This is the lung in lungrik. When you say sung as a translator, beep, beep, it has been stated. And when you say stated, it's a lung proof. He, capital H, said. And everybody knows, oh, Buddha, yeah, okay, sorry, I guess you're right. Sometimes he's referring to an old Indian, like Nagarjuna. He also gets sung. Okay, so, but normally when you're doing a proof, based not on logic, but based on scriptural authority, you use sung. So when you're as a translator see sung, you gotta make it, it has been stated. Yeah, okay. Okay, now, if it were me, I would go get the whole verse. Because anyway, you're gonna have to put it in the footnote. And it's also a very sexy verse. It's a very, very famous verse about why the Buddha can't just wave away your bad seeds. Okay, so now, and I kind of didn't put it in here for you, although I went and did the work. I want you guys to tell me. Now I know I have the first and fourth line of a verse. I want the whole verse. What do I do? I use gopher. That's okay. That's a decision one. That's correct. I used the 31 years of input. Okay, now how? What's the first thing I do? Should I search for the word Pa, P-A.
No.
No, there'll be about 4 million of them. Yeah, that's the answer, okay? Find the strangest words in the quotation. Find the strangest words. So today, what you can learn from this class is how to go find a quotation, okay? Because there's a skill to it, and I'm the best in the world at it. I'm sorry. No, Ava told me that. She just got a PhD from some Buddhist studies program. She said nobody can do it like that. Because I spent my whole life with Gopher. So there's a sub trick. Main trick, look for unusual words. Sub trick, don't put in words that might be misspelled. Okay, don't frustrate yourself. Don't touch a word that is traditionally misspelled or spelled different ways. Avoid those words. So go for weird words, but
make sure that they're ones that are probably spelled correctly.
Yeah. Where the spelling has never been in question, where the spelling hasn't changed through the centuries. Okay, now just to warn you, the word true here, which means the Buddhas don't remove your bad deeds by washing them with water. Okay, now to warn you, true is spelled like 10 different ways. I'm not touching that one. In my search, until I get desperate, I'm not touching it. Or, sub-idea number 3. Chop out the guts of the word.
Oh.
Take off the prefix letter, take off the suffix letter. Yeah. And just take, like if it's the word wash, take W-A-S, something like that. You see? Because that's still strange. There's not a lot, sorry. But take the guts out of the word, take the root out of the word. But true can have a D, an L, an S at the end. And it can have no prefix letter, and it can have other prefix letters. So take the KHRU, which is pretty unusual. It's in Trunkor, which means machine. Yeah. But generally, as a root meaning clean, the Buddhists don't clean away your bad deeds with water. That's what it says. Water's not going to help. So I'll just show you a cool way to design the search, and then you won't learn it in one day, but you'll learn it in a couple of years. Okay, so Tup Nam, the able ones, Tup Nam, that could have been said 10 ways. It could have been Tupa Nam, it could have been Tupadak, it could have been Tupas. Don't touch that kind of thing. Let's go for... It might be the wrong order. Let's go Dikpa near 2. Okay. Let's even just do Dik.
Right.
Okay. Because any Dikpa's gonna have Dik in it, and
What is Dik?
it means bad deed.
Oh,
Yeah. It's the opposite. Yeah. You want to know the whole story of Dikpa? Dikpa means to threaten somebody. It's an ancient verb that means to threaten somebody. And the traditional explanation of the word Dikpa is that the wise Dikpa you not to do this thing. The wise wave their finger. It means wag your finger. Yeah, the word for bad deed in Tibetan is wave your finger.
Does the word dick have something to do with finger?
Dik means to go like this to somebody. No, it's not Sanskrit. It's not a Sanskrit word. Tibetan is related to no known languages. It came from this guy.
But in Tibetan it means
This guy. I don't know. It's not. It's definitely not related to Sanskrit, and it's not related to Chinese, and it's not related to Hebrew. It's off the charts. So Dikpa means it's something you shouldn't do because the wise would wave their finger at you. If that you asked, I've told you. Okay. Okay. Here we go. How close should the Dikpa be to the true?
One or two lines? Probably one, right?
It's in the same line.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the same line. By the way, I think with Gopher, even if you put one, it's still 2 lines. You see what I mean?
Whether it's
yeah.
hard return or something.
Yeah, anyway, you're still going to hit it, okay?
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you're safe. If you put 5 lines, you're going to get 10,000 results. If you put 1 line, you're going to get 30 or something, okay? And you don't want to sit there all day Oh, that's not the one I was looking for. Okay, ready? Here we go. Now, what's the next decision you have to make?
Source.
Oh,
So
Where are you going to look for it?
the
Now, I'll tell you what I would do.
You're gonna look for people who quoted it. Assume.
I will look in the Tibetan literature for someone who quoted it because they might say where it comes from. So that way I'll have the whole 4 lines the way the Tibetans thought it was. Then I'll take that and go look in the Kagyu and Tengyur to see if some version of that is in there, because oftentimes the Tibetan will rephrase it. So I'll start from the Tibetans.
and you're still gonna end up in the Kagyu, but you're
Yeah, I
saying
wanna
such a
end up in
long
the-
shot
yeah.
to find it this way.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's a long shot. And by the way, I know this verse. I've looked for this verse before. I found it before, and I don't remember where. But I do remember I have to go through a lot of work to find it.
It's in Lamrim.
Now, you're looking for poetry. If you don't see commas, 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 skip, 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 skip.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now it's 317 matches. Too many for me.
Mhm.
Too many for me. I don't want to waste my time. Let's change the true. How many matches? I don't know.
Tick with,
220.
220, too many. I'm not interested in sitting there all day. Let's go back to the original. How about Dikpachu? Okay, I'll break down and do Dikpachu. This will definitely hit it, if it hasn't been changed.
It's got something.
Yeah. Now, this is Tsongkhapa, quoting it. He's surprised, guess what? He's very trustable. he quotes things carefully. So here's the, yeah, well, pretty much. So I'll take the verse. Okay, 4 lines. But I'll tell you something. He gives the source. But I'm gonna. There's some bad news for you, Stanley. So now, what keystroke should I hit now?
Command X.
Control X. Yeah, Command X. Because that will chop out the information about which book did it come from automatically. And then when I make my footnote, super sexy. It's okay. And then what I will do, so I don't confuse it, I'll make a big space, and I'll stick it in there, and I will immediately bold it so I don't confuse it with the original book. And I put these little curlies around it, just for myself. Okay. Then, since it's poetry, I will go cut it up into poetry and make it, it's got to have a comma and a comma. This is poetry. Okay, this is how poetry is written in Tibetan. This is how the 4 lines are cut out. Okay.
Is this a special one in reserve for Tsongkhapa that you're not even going to check in the Kagyu at this point?
No, we are going to.
Okay.
I don't trust anybody, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Even Jetsunkaba. I will go check it. I will go confirm it. Because there might be interesting stuff just before it and after it also.
Yeah.
It might be something that, Shariputra said to Subhuti or something. That's kind of cool. I like to know more about it. It's slower. Our system is slower. But it's worth it. There's a rule of quality even in manufacturing. Go slow, get the quality right, it'll speed up later, much greater than if you hadn't done quality. You see what I mean? You in the end, you'll be moving faster than the people who don't do quality. And you'll have quality. But in the beginning, it's slower. Take the time, make it high quality. Now let's translate this guy. Now we're in a position to translate it. And you got to know it because it's going to be in your footnote. And it's a very famous quotation. So let's recite it. Tubna, Dikpa, Chui, Mi Tu Shing, Doe Dungya,
Doe Dungya,
Chaki,
Chaki,
Misela,
Misela,
Niki Topa,
Niki Topa,
Shenla,
Shenla,
Pomente,
Pomente,
Chini Demba,
Chini Demba,
Dembe,
Tembe,
Tuargyur.
Tuar,
Sorry, Tuargyur.
Tuar,
Okay, good. Very, very famous, and for a DCI teacher or ACI teacher or a teacher of your wife, it's an important verse. It's an important verse in Buddhism. Okay, which means it's also important to establish its authenticity, which we're going to do later. But first, let's translate it. Tubnam,
The able ones.
the able ones. Tuba means able one. It's a synonym for Buddha. What's the Sanskrit?
Muni,
Muni. And what's the real meaning of Sanskrit?
those who keep their mouths shut.
Yeah, those who don't speak unless they know, which is what we're trying to do with this quotation. Okay, so just so you appreciate, when you teach your own students, what the Tibetans translate as able one, the real meaning of the word is mauna. Muni is the word, mauna is related. Mauna means the practice of spiritual silence, like they did in 3-year retreat. That we say they observed mauna. And it's the strengthening of the vowel. U becomes ow. So you strengthen it to mean one who keeps silence. Okay, so yeah, Verdi, and there's another word.
There is.
Anyway, Tubnam, the able ones, Dikpa,
Your
bad deeds, Chui yi me too. They don't wash it away with water. Okay, they don't wash away your bad deeds with water. You know, I grew up in Christian church. You do wash away your bad deeds with water. So I was like, when I was like, you know, okay. Anyway, so that's what I call religious sensitivity. When you teach this in America or in Mexico, you have to be sensitive. You have to be careful not to push too hard. Don't push too hard on people's the beliefs they were brought up with, because no matter how enlightened they are, there'll be some kind of reaction. You know. Doe Dunga?
The suffering of being.
Yeah, good. This Doa means beings. The suffering of beings. Here's the honorific word for lakpa.
Hand chopped.
Yeah, chak is the high, polite word for hand. We see it in the word,
Choctaw.
yeah, chak tsao, I bow down. Okay. Which means I seek a boon from your hand. Chak tsao. And it comes in somebody's text. It's coming up in somebody's text. An explanation of that. Yeah, Doi Dungyal Chaki. This, okay, Usal means what?
Clear light or light.
Yeah, clear light. G-S-A-L.
Yeah.
Adjective. G-S-A-L. Adjective. G-S-A-L. Adjective. No G, change the A to E, it becomes a verb.
Clear away.
They don't clear away.
With their hand.
They don't clean away with their hands the suffering. They don't go, oh, my arm's broken. They don't go, oh, okay, your arm's not broken. You know. In theory, if the disciple believed enough in the teacher, the seed planted by that belief could cure their arm. So what Jesus did is possible. Okay, here we go. Niki topa shenla po minte. You know po because you know poa.
Transfer.
Poa means to transfer your mind to the next life or something like that. So po also in colloquial means to change rooms in the monastery. Po. Dashak po.
Transfer.
So yeah, it means transfer.
That's cool.
Uh,
That's funny.
It is.
Ni here means their own. Their own. Okay, number one. Their own. Topa with an S means,
Their understanding.
yeah, realizations. Now you translate it for me. Shen means other people.
They
Translate that.
can't
Like,
transfer their realizations to others.
Yeah, they can't.
yeah, they can't like, you know, here, now you understand Tibetan, you know. They can't do that. Okay. They can't. They have to talk.
Can't-
Definitely didn't
One more
work.
time.
There's nothing here about ability.
Yeah, you can say they don't. You can say they don't. Yeah. They don't move their realizations into other people. Their own. I would say their own for neat. Okay.
Their own realization.
Well, what do they do? Chini Dembe Dembe.
Cool.
They can only teach the Dharma. This ni means only the Dharma. Only the Dharma. The comma, the truth, a positive. A positive means these two are equal. By teaching
Truth.
the teaching, only by teaching the teaching, comma, which is the truth, do they free people. They free people. Okay.
Would you call Chinyi like the Dharma, or because you said the teaching?
I would say Chinyi, you see, only with the Dharma. The ni in the third line
Yeah,
means their own.
their own.
But the ni in the fourth line means only the Dharma.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Chinyi,
Yeah.
the truth. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to take it back completely. I'm going to take that ni as ta. Dharmata, ti longe, dharma, shunyata.
Oh,
The nature of things.
uh-huh.
I'm going to change it.
Wow.
The truth.
Pure reality.
Yeah.
The true nature of things.
Yeah, the chinyi.
The highest reality.
You can say reality. I would just say reality. They free people by teaching them the truth, comma, reality. So sometimes chinyi means not, it doesn't mean only the Dharma, sometimes it means Dharma-ness, which is a synonym for emptiness. The nature of all things. You can say the nature of all things. But you don't have much room here because it's poetry. So good luck. And you're in a foreign language. But given your background in movies, I think you'll be okay.
Just make it sound like.
Now, step two. We want to go confirm this quotation. You know, we want to go see if the Buddha taught it, when he taught it, how he taught it, what was he doing when he taught it. Does it say something different on some of the lines? So we're going to go to the source, which Tsongkhapa himself identifies as Lu, which is just a misspelling. Someone typed it wrong. There's no book called Body. Okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry. You got to go back to Gopher. You got to see if another Tibetan author identified the source, and it wasn't terribly typed.
You think it's Hari Nagoshi? Like Luke?
I think so.
I happen to know who it is, but
Isn't it Buddha?
well, we had a feeling it was the Buddha, right? So we got to go back to our Gopher search and continue. And we're looking for this verse with a lay in front of it, which means from whatever comes before lay. We're looking for lay or nay or la or something. Okay, ready? Here we go. Boop. What's this one say?
From Sutra.
Dole. Who's that? Jamyang Shepa. Jamyang Shepa. Very good scholar, although he came from a bad master called Drebun. Just kidding. Great scholar. Great scholar. Careful scholar. He says a sutra, which always irritates me. I'm like, yeah, thanks. There's 990. You know, thanks for narrowing it down for us. Okay. So in his opinion, it was from a sutra. Okay. Got it? So far we have one mistake and thing and one sutra. Okay. Here we go. Oops. This author didn't identify where it was from. He just said, moreover, and then he just jumped into it. Okay. By the way, keep looking at it to see if you see any different spelled words. Like po is spelled different here.
Oh.
Okay. It's a more active form. Po is an active form of po. So when you have more breath, it's more passive. When you have more poa, they don't poa their in realizations to other people. Okay. But so when we go looking for this in the Kangyo, we might want to check for SPO. Okay, that's all. Just it's part of your searching mind. You're like, okay, I might have to use SPO.
So John Shaper says it's Po and not Po.
That's now.
Not sure.
I worked with Ted Lemon,
Uh-huh.
I said, well, sometimes I think of something after I left that reference already. Can we put in a go backwards button? Here it is. Previous match. It's really cool. It's like he just asked me, did the second guy spell it SPO or apostrophe PHO? I can go back in the finds, in the hits.
Or if you want to find like long before.
Say again?
Keep going.
You have to keep clicking.
Yeah, I'll go ahead again. So I'm going to go back. Okay. Oh, he only quoted the first line. Yeah, sorry. So no answer to your question. Now let's keep going.
For too many, what we can do is just keep going. We
Uh,
can choose.
Now, how many choices do I have? Look at the bottom.
34.
That's reasonable. That's reasonable. I can go through 30 quotations. If it was 300, your search is sloppy. Your search criteria is sloppy. You go back and change your search. Now, sometimes you have no choice. You have to look through 300 things. And I will do it. And it's a kind of meditation. I say, Geshe-la, calm down. You're not going to get anything done today. Cancel the Jigme's coming over. Tell her not to come over. And, sit there for an hour and look through everyone. And then sometimes it's just jackass patience. You're just, okay, I'm going to look at, I've looked at 1,000 before, because I really want to find this thing. There's no other way to frame the search. We call frame a search. It means design a search. I just, okay, I find ways to make it more efficient, but sometimes there's not. Okay, so here we go. We got 31 to go. This one is interesting because it says from the same book. Dele. You see? From that book. So that means I got to go backwards.
I think it's a different quote.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry. Cancel that. Here's it's quoted, but there's no source. Okay? Here it says Somle. Somle. That's correct, actually. Okay, so the LUS above in Tsongkhapa was TSOMS.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Somebody accidentally put it.
Yeah. So much, so different.
How?
Yeah, tell me about it.
I can see all this on the wall, maybe.
Yeah. If you imagine, you can maybe see. Okay. So anyway,
Blurry,
Som means anthology,
all right.
and it's a famous thing. It's somebody took sutras and put them into cute little verses. So now, on the one hand, you can be happy that you found the source. On the other hand, this is the cutified sutra stuff, which means you have to uncutify it to find it in the sutra. Now you know you're gonna have trouble finding it, because somebody took it and made it into a poem, but maybe it wasn't a poem originally. Okay, because Som means someone wanted to make it memorizable. Or something like that, so they rewrote it. So on one hand, you feel cool, I found it. I can get away with some footnote. That's old enough. That's India. Som is India. I can get away with that. Should I work harder and try to find it before it was Somified? Okay, okay. That's a moral question. Sometimes if I'm tired or I'm in a bad mood, I'll say, let's go with some. Who's going to care? Who's going to read it? Then the next day I go back and I'm like, I got to do it. I got to go find it,
So Geshe-la, we're saying the 4 lines are at Som?
Are from Som,
Yeah.
which likes, Som is a poetrification of sutras.
Right.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, it might have, some of the Soms are part of Pali literature and didn't stay in Tibetan. So then your work is harder.
The Dhammapada.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. Now, if it's me, any differences here?
Yeah. Tuk is misspelled, but
Tuk is misspelled. Thank you very much.
To.
Any other?
Paul.
But then you say
Once-
Paul.
Once again.
Oh, it's SPO again. The rest is the same, right? Okay, let's keep going. Jikedu means as they say. Thanks a lot. Okay. Any difference in spellings that are? No. SPO again. Okay.
Is that a different quote?
It's a
Abbreviation?
it's a commentary. He's weaving it. He's weaving it. Okay, let's skip it.
Same thing?
Yep, you're right. As they say, thanks a lot.
If you didn't know ahead of time that this was from the Kangyur and that it was hard to find, would you have first searched in the Kangyur? What I mean is,
No, I would have first in the Simbum first. Oh no, you're right. It depends on the author.
alright.
If it's Tsongkhapa, I would have thought he would quote it directly from the Kangyur if he knew where it was.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a more recent Tibetan, 18th century, 19th century, I might try to find an older Tibetan version first. And depends on how desperate you are. Another Po. That's all we learned from that one.
5 minutes.
Oh man, this person said sutra. Who is this person?
Pabonga.
Yeah, it's Pabonga Rinpoche.
It's our book.
Yeah.
Now, I did some pretty hard research when I taught you guys Pabonga Rinpoche. So if it was me, I would go get my Pabonga Rinpoche notes, you see, and see if I figured it out. Also, art is a really good reference finder, I hate to say. Whoever you're jealous of in this class, just imagine it happening for 20 years. And he's good at finding stuff. So sometimes I will, if it's in Pabonga Rinpoche's Lamrim, it'll be in Art's translation. And he will have found the reference, oftentimes.
And do we have access to your notes for that?
No,
Do
you
have
don't.
any
Okay, anyway, it looks like I don't have notes for that. Actually, yeah, I give them to Jigme all the time.
Okay, we'll kind of on the train.
But they're getting pretty out of hand. They're like 700 pages now. So. I say let's keep going. But if you want, get the English of the Liberation in Our Hands. Go to folio 9, and there'll be a footnote by Art, and he's good with the Psalms actually.
Oh, that's cool. I would just, the most recent has all of his notes, right?
Here's another person that says it's Psalm,
Might as well just put everything.
which is Jamyan Shepe Dorje, who just said it was from Do. Thanks a
Oh,
lot.
that's right.
And they say Paul, not Paul.
He changed his story.
Thank you.
We're 20 in, okay? There's another Tsom person. Who is that? Chijan Rinpoche, careful scholar. Dalai Lama's junior tutor, my teacher's teacher. He's a careful person, but he didn't identify. He just says Tsom. Here's another author, Losan Teminima, Tsom. Another person said Sutra.
Wow.
Couple people said Tsom. Let's go for Tsom. You want to go through all 34?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
The young
Shikya.
40 verses? I mean 400.
400 verses
400.
of
Arya Deva.
who said that? Jingme Chinle Gyatso. Okay. Oh, sorry, no. Jingme Chinle. It's just some biographer. Sometimes these are students of a famous Lama who are not so cool themselves.
Can we check?
Yeah, but now I would go do I would definitely cut out the 400 verses and search it with word for the word cell or something, you know, bowl. Okay, so that's another job we have to do. Just remember, we have to go to the 400 verses of Aryadeva. I suspect if there's anything in there, it's another version. Okay, because I don't think it's if it was from 400 verses, then all those other guys would have said 400 verses.
Right. Unless the 400 verses is quoting Lord Buddha.
Right.
We saw, what did we see the other day? Somebody misquoted the source. It was,
the wrong book.
yeah, it was the wrong book.
Oh, right. It was
Oh, it was, yeah.
Tattva Sangraha.
Yeah, Tattva
Yeah.
Sangraha. But when we searched for some words in the Pramanavartika,
That was
it
in
was
there.
there was something in there.
Subject matter, but the wrong quote.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's what's going on.
Maybe.
Just put that in your database there. He says po, okay, just for.
Oh.
We're up to 30. Som's got a lot of votes. This is Lunglei, thanks a lot. Scripture says. One more to go. Oh, so that's the loose.
The loose?
L-U-S.
Lung?
That's a corruption of
yeah.
Lung.
Oh, that's
Ah.
I got it. Totally.
Definitely.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Ooh.
Okay, we're done. We've done our duty.
And we're out of time.
Yeah,
Now,
we
if
gotta
you're
go
a
read it.
masochist,
Which we all are.
if you're a masochist, Uncle Phil can tell me where we would go if we were really masochistic to go deeper.
The uncatalogued data.
Exactly.
Dun dun dun.
But why would we do
There's
that
some-
before searching the Kangir? It's
Well, we're pretty satisfied now, you know.
That what?
Okay, now, since we have to stop 1 minute ago,
It's either in the Kangir or the
It's in the
400 verses.
I'm going to search Tangyur and Kangir at the same time, which I wouldn't normally do, but, you know. Okay, got it? Dikpachu near 2.
Okay. Then we gotta go again.
I understand. Dee,
Do you
dee,
still
dee,
frame, do you still have to
dee,
frame the
dee.
search that way since we know?
You can't be more specific
But,
still.
yeah, because the spelling could be off or.
Yeah, they're right.
Still?
I mean, they're not usually right, but they're
Zero
right.
mentions. What are the zero mentions?
Zero.
Whoa.
It's not there. Okay. It's not there in that form.
Okay,
And
try about the apostrophe.
It doesn't help. I've done it.
Oh.
How about we do, what was the po?
SPO.
And the two choices, but what was poing? Oh, Nikitopa. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Nikitopa. Let's try that. That's not it. Oh, I have to add a
Yes.
space after po. Okay, you want to get fancy?
Yeah.
Add spaces. So you don't hit bong or, you know. But there might be a comma. So, okay, let's try that. Dee, dee, dee. If, by the way, if the search program takes more than a few seconds, it's usually a lost cause. Is it a hang up? I don't know.
Oh. Niki took the nope.
That's not it.
Wow, Gophers. Maybe it has a million windows open.
There's only,
Wow.
yeah. It searched 4,500 books and it's not in there.
Wow. Oh wow. Google.
I'm not, no, I'm not sure where its home is.
Yeah.
I think it might be only Pali. So you got to go check the English version of the Liberation Edition. I think it's folio 9. He has the folio numbers in little braces.
I just checked the channels. It says the sutra says. So it doesn't.
That
Yeah.
that's probably not correct.
You said your keys are on the table.
Sashi
Buddhi Joshing Meto Jam Vira Lingshin Inde Yambadi
Parsho Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kamiyatayami Dewa Kun Sunam Yashe Tsok Shing Sunam Yashe Le Chungwe Tambar Kuhi Toparsho.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, it's so nice to have a group of people who want to learn this. And I'm Sugang, I'm amazed how hard you're working. And I'm really grateful. And I've been waiting for you guys for a long time. So keep going.